Hello and welcome to another episode of GAR in the Glass. I'm Anthony Moore.
I'm Stephen DeBose.
And this is episode 1, GAR in the Glass. Today we're smoking on what we were smoking on pretty much, you know what I'm saying, in the intro episode. You know, some smooth, chocolatey flavor, and drinking Uncle Nearest.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Steve had kind of teased in the first episode one of the topics that we was going to talk about, but I'm gonna let him choose. We got 3 that we want to talk about, and I'm gonna let him choose which one we want to talk about first. You wanna save the one that's the most grotesque for last?
Nah, I feel like we should jump right on in there because my stomach kind of turns. My stomach kind of turns every time I even think about it. So I'd rather
just go ahead and get it out the way.
I'll go ahead and get it out of the way so I have time to recover the rest of the episode.
All right. So, this topic is a little, older. You know what I'm saying? People have already kind of weighed in about how they feel about it. But we want to chime in with our own opinion of what we feel like this is.
We've heard everybody else's opinion about this. Some good, some bad, whatever. But, it's such an interesting and hot topic that I felt like, even though it's a little bit dated, we still need to give
some of our opinions on that.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to share it and discuss it. Mm-hmm. We haven't really sat down and actually talked about how we felt about it for real. So we just finna get right into it. I'm gonna play the video and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Give me a minute so I can try to cue the video up. A whole lot of stuff in between. So let me see. All right, here we go.
Jesus said, "Good, brother." Now watch. He can't see, but he can hear. And this is the moment where many of us are in. Is that God is doing something and we hear Him.
Jesus.
Changing. We hear Him even in your prayer. And in this time, He's changing something and you don't see it clearly yet. But you hear.
Oh, man.
And this is where most people would not face Jesus anymore. What most people would do is turn away.
He really think he was doing something.
He thought he was saying something.
Right.
I can't look.
What I'm telling you is just as He's physically standing here, knowing what's coming. God's saying, can you physically and spiritually and
you can't watch. I can't watch it, man. I'm telling you, this nauseates me.
But getting the vision of receiving it might get nasty. I'll say it in a point just like that. Receiving vision from God.
And look,
might get nasty.
He's trying to do that for clout. Look at him.
You mean, God, I just bought in crazy faith. I just bought my dream car. And now you're going to ask me to sell it back and ride in the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, it might get nasty.
Look, oh my God.
I can't watch it.
It's oozing off his mouth.
You're going to hear and see the responses of the people.
All right. So If you don't know, if you haven't heard already.
God damn, I looked up that. Go ahead, man.
If you haven't heard or seen the video, it's a pastor in Oklahoma. He caused a stir following a sermon suddenly. Well, on Sunday. What's his name? Pastor Michael Todd.
Pastor Loogie.
Right? Pastor Michael Todd, a preacher of a Transformation Church. At Transformation Church. Spit in his hand to try to drive home a point of when Jesus spit in his hand, used the dirt, and wiped it on the blind man's face to make him see. And so with that illustration, he chose to literally spit in his hand and put it on his brother's face as a demonstration. You could have used water, man. You could have used anything else but your own spit. For your brother to stand there, you have to have told him beforehand what was about to happen. For him to have stood there and allowed that to happen, look, man, let's just be real. If Jesus didn't make that blind man see after putting his spit, they probably would have beat the hell out of Jesus.
Jesus would have had without that. I'm gonna be as respectful as I can because I know Christians are listening.
Hey, look.
You know, I mean, you know,
do what you want to say. What you want to say.
You know,
because people are going to listen, people are not going to listen, and it may not be for everybody. But we're just talking. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah. See, there's a saying. It's a saying that everybody. Hey, you just outsmarted your damn. You so smart you outsmarted yourself.
Nah, not in this case.
I'm just saying. You notice when he said, he can't see what's going on, but he can hear.
As soon as I would have heard it, I would have knocked him out. Or I would have walked off stage. There ain't no way I'm going to allow you to put spit on my face. That's disrespect.
So here's my thing. Now,
and for them afterwards to be like, "Oh yeah, hey man, no, man, I would have got up and walked straight up out that church."
That was my problem with it. See, that's what bothers me about Christianity. And it ain't so much about Christianity. It's about the black church.
Yeah,
we can do some of the most horrible things, but if a pastor goes up and do the exact same thing, we hold so much esteem in a black pastor. And I've seen black pastors do some good things, but I've seen black pastors do some horrible things. And they not Jesus, they not God. But see, my whole thing about it is, we always say, they ain't God or anything, but they can damn near get away with anything. Just in the name of Christ. In the name of Christ.
Now that I don't know if he did that in the name of Christ.
He said he did, and his pastor, his congregation was saying amen. So obviously, no matter what he did, he could do no wrong.
Now, to me, that was wrong. Because, I mean, once again, you could have illustrated that same point with water. With Coca-Cola. You could have did it with baby oil for all I care. But for you to actually spit in your hand, and you didn't just spit in your hand, you hawked it up from the depths of your soul. Can I get an amen?
But look at now. Let me tell you something, man. And this is going to be a little bit controversial, but
say it.
Did you hear who was actually saying amen? No. If you rewind that, when you hear the amen, what gender was it?
Oh, a woman.
It was the women.
Yeah.
It was the women in there that were saying amen. It was the women. You didn't see one. You didn't hear amen. No, you heard all. And when you heard amen, you heard all women. It was all women.
I would have lost my mind, man.
Well,
somebody should have tackled him.
No, he knew knows his congregation.
Man.
He knows his congregation. And that's what bothers me about Christianity.
And no apology.
He did have an apology.
Yeah. He did have an apology.
You know when he got an apology?
But no apology would have sufficed for that. Like, you couldn't have apologized for that.
Well, see, that right there. That right there shows you the problem with the black church.
Like, I don't mind any forms of religion. That's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you choose to, live by, what your, religious beliefs are, that's fine with me. But there has to be a point to where you start to read between the lines of, are you worshiping the God or are you worshiping the man? You know what I'm saying?
It's a little bit of both, because honestly, even our community, I see people do the most heinous things and then say, thank you, Jesus. See, I have a problem with that Jesus thing anyway. I have a problem with the Jesus thing because I know a lot of y'all here that see on Facebook, and I know y'all see the memes. Black people hated everything about slavery except Jesus. They give you their own religion. They give you their religion, and y'all would defend that religion harder than the people who gave you that religion. That has always been my problem with Christianity, but that's no longer my number one problem.
Right.
My number one problem is now we getting worse as they are. We are mimicking the same people or the same tactics we say we hate. We're starting to mimic that.
Yeah, because this is completely outrageous, man.
Well, let me give you a little bit of common sense. He said he couldn't see what was coming, but he could hear. Now, a little story from my childhood. One time I was in this field. Okay. Walking through this field.
Cotton field?
It was no cotton field. Don't start that bullshit. It was wheat. But here's the thing. I heard rattling.
Right.
And if you know anything about Alabama in the South in the summer, rattlesnakes are everywhere. I heard rattling. I couldn't see what it was, but I could hear it.
Yeah.
I could hear it. I knew that there was danger.
Danger alert.
It was a danger alert.
Evil afoot.
When he said that, I was like, you're right. God gave us the innate ability to sense when danger is around,
right, without
actually seeing it.
Right.
So when his brother heard that, you knew what he was doing.
And you still stood there.
Because the money in a black church, now his brother knew what he was finna do when he heard it.
Yeah.
But he couldn't. But he couldn't stop that collection plate from coming around. The moment, if he had turned away, that collection plate would have been a little light. He said, "Hey, you got to take this for the collection." And we all know that's what it was. You wouldn't stand there for nothing.
Nah,
you knew good and well your brother was finna collect big.
I wouldn't stand there for anything.
Well, unless there was a paycheck in it for you.
No.
When that third collection plate went around, because they had already had two, and it was light, so he knew. All right, man. let me go ahead to my plan B, and that's what he did. Hey, this collection plate a little light. Let me do something dramatic. And that's what he did, and that was for the check.
Speaking of dramatic, we're going to go to the next topic that are pretty dramatic, not as heinous as this is, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to let you choose. Number 2 or number 3?
Let's go with Steak and Shake.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip.
Also tonight, from Brawl at the Buffet. This is Eyewitness News at 6, and we are streaming live on CBS News Philly. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Ep.1.
And I'm Jessica Cartalia. Friday night out turned into a melee in Ben Salem at a Golden Corral restaurant. Now police are trying to figure out how it all started. Eyewitness News reporter Matt Petrillo is in Ben Salem tonight. Matt?
Well, I talked to a man who posted that video online. He says he was told that fight broke out after the buffet here ran out of steak. Video shared with Eyewitness News shows punches being thrown and high chairs flying as a fight breaks out inside the Golden Corral in Ben Salem Friday evening. Ben Salem police confirmed the brawl may have involved more than 40 people and happened following an argument among some customers. Officers are still looking into what caused the argument.
I've never seen something like that
in Golden Corral before. This man who used to work at the Ben Salem Golden Corral says he was told by a current employee about the initial altercation.
From what I heard, it was over steak. Somebody got in line.
His friend heard the same details.
There was a shortage of steak, and two parties were involved.
Take a close listen, and a man can be heard saying, "All I wanted was some steak." Golden Corral.
Wait, I gotta go back, man.
Email asking if a lack of did was some steak.
Yeah.
Golden Corral wouldn't answer our email asking if
all I wanted was some steak.
Calls the melee. But JK Hospitality, the Golden Corral franchise, wrote in a statement, thankfully.
All right, so apparently in Ben Salem, Pennsylvania, Friday night out turned into a melee in Ben Salem at the Golden Corral restaurant. Now police are trying to figure out what started it. But apparently it started over some steak. They ran out of steak and a brawl started. A brawl over some steak, bro.
Well, look, man.
Over some steak.
As a ribeye lover myself.
How good is the steak at Golden Corral for you to start a mosh pit?
Well,
what they say on Bulldogs, as soon as the first chair is thrown.
Right. I mean, everybody knows when a chair is thrown.
It's on. When a chair is thrown, it's on. Trademark that.
But the thing about it was, the fight wasn't so much over the steak.
Okay.
The fight was over. Somebody said there was no more steak. It's not that they wanted the steak, but
no, they wanted the steak.
But when somebody says, "Hey, this is the last whatever," and there's a line, of course, because you know it's the last. I don't give a damn if it was the last crab leg. It could have been the last meatball. It wasn't so much the steak, because we all know Golden Corral steak tastes like shoe leather.
I ain't never had Golden Corral steak. So
I have.
I don't know.
And it tastes like shoe leather. But the thing about it is, it wasn't a fight over the steak. It was the fight over the fact that I'm gonna get some and you ain't.
Right.
That was a fight over human nature. Human nature says, well, if ain't but a little bit of something,
I gotta have it.
I don't give a damn if I have to fight over it.
Right.
So, because we, just like you just said, Golden Corral steak ain't nothing to fight over.
You act like you're Ruth's Chris.
I'm like, you know damn well, them guys are back there just wearing white jackets. They ain't no real chefs. Those aren't real chefs. That was Steakums. Probably.
Now, the question that I have to ask you after that, does this make you want to go get a Golden Corral steak now?
Okay.
Seeing how people are willing to fight over this last steak, does it make you want to try a Golden Corral steak now?
It makes me not want to go to Corral no more than I wanted to go to Popeyes to fight over some sandwiches.
Hey, them sandwiches were pretty good.
Them sandwiches
the first round was good. But I think what they did is they gave you the good stuff first as a trial. But then when they brought it back as the main menu thing, it wasn't the same. Because I tried it afterwards and I was like, nah, this ain't really hitting. So I went back to my chicken strip.
Well, from what I hear, the first round of crack It's good.
God.
So I don't want to try that either.
Everybody try no crack.
I'm just saying. Everybody say, "Hey man, once you take that first hit, you gonna chase that forever." So I understand the first round might have been good,
right.
But if I've seen what it made everybody else do, I don't think I want
right
to follow up with that.
Right.
So my thing about it is, it's just that, you know, when I heard a fight over Golden Corral Steak, you know, I'm no English major, but that sounds like an oxymoron to me. Fight Golden Corral,
right? Fight Golden Corral. That's all you got to say.
That just doesn't.
It's like fight at the Waffle House.
Yeah. Over what?
Over the waffles. Over the pecan waffles.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing that good at Waffle House.
Exactly.
That's a truck stop.
So that wasn't and that's what my point is. That wasn't a fight over the steak. That was a fight over, okay, I want the last piece and you ain't gonna get it. You know, and that's all that was. That was
imagine everybody else who's sitting down already got their steak,
looking at you,
and then they can't fully enjoy it because now they chair getting jerked from up under them, just throw it across the room. Somebody slapped your plate off your table. You ain't getting no steak. I ain't getting no steak. You ain't getting
nobody
no steak.
Getting no steak.
Slap.
That's what that was. If I can't have none, you ain't getting it either. I'm gonna start a fight, so ain't nobody happy.
And the potatoes to go with it.
Well, shit. The potatoes better than the steak. I want to eat the potatoes. Give me the potatoes.
Give me the potato. Hey man, I'm just alive for the potatoes.
Hey.
Y'all can have the steak. I'm just alive for the potatoes.
Hey, the potatoes just as chewy as the steak. If you pour a little A1 steak sauce, you wouldn't know the difference.
Right. You wouldn't know the difference.
But that's what that was. That was a fight over human nature. And like you said, everybody know when the chair gets strong.
It's on. When the chair gets strong, I'm telling y'all, put this on a shirt. When the chair gets thone, it's on. Merch coming soon. You know? Merch coming soon. When the check get thrown,
that's good.
It's on.
I like
G&G, Guard the Glass. When the check gets thrown, it's on.
Hashtag, all I wanted was
some steak. For all my people out there that's listening to this episode, you know where it came from when you see that shirt. All I wanted was some steak.
Trademark that.
Hashtag, all I wanted was some steak. When the check gets thrown, it's on. G&G. Right there.
And all y'all slick ones, we already put the trademark in for that.
Already. It's already coming. Merch coming. G&G. When the check gets thrown, it's on. Speaking of on, moving on. We go to this last topic real quick. Now this one is something that blew my mind right here. I ain't got no video, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. Woman with 2 vaginas says she uses one for work and one for personal sex. All right. So bringing in a whole new meaning to not mixing work with pleasure. This OnlyFans star has shared what it is to have 2 vaginas, where she uses professionally. She uses one professionally and the other for personal sex. Adult content creator Evelyn Miller didn't find out until the age of 20 that she'd been born with 2 vaginas and 2 wombs. The 31-year-old from Queensland, Australia, began working in the sex industry after a relationship breakdown and made sure she kept one vagina for use in her work and one for her personal life, which seems rather efficient.
Okay. I need visual evidence. Because, you know, this story reeks of it. I got pregnant by God. No.
You're bringing Mary in here, huh? What? Was it Mary?
Yeah, I was Mary. Yeah.
And you know what? Nobody ever talks about Joseph.
Because Joseph was a damn fool.
Nobody ever talks about Joseph. So Joseph just sat back and was like, all right, cool.
You know, never knowing, just, hey, God told me, God came down and had sex with me. And
now, if we talking on a,
I'm just saying, I need visual evidence. I need some evidence of this.
well, let's go to the story real quick. That was the first documented form of I got pregnant by somebody else, but I don't want you to know.
Hence,
So,
amen.
So Joseph was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Joseph was a nice guy.
Absolutely. And we all know what nice guys finish. That we all know what nice guys finish.
What, last?
With the son of man.
Son of another man.
Hey, nobody said what, man? I didn't say what, man. I said son of man.
So, and that's what he was deemed as. You know what I'm saying? The son of man.
Yeah.
Of another man. Jesus. So, I've never heard of a woman having two vaginas, ever. I didn't even know that was physically possible. Now, they do have pictures online of what it looks like. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But,
online, but did you see the pictures from her?
No. I don't,
okay, that's why I keep coming back. I need visual evidence.
Well, I mean, you got to make your OnlyFans.
I mean, because from this point, from this point, we only going about her word, right?
This is a perfect marketing tool, though, because now people are going to subscribe to her OnlyFans just to see, even if they don't continue to have the subscription, you've already paid,
right? At least once,
right? But it's like, okay, so does it just look like one vagina, but it has two canals? Or is it two separate entries? Like, is it two separate vaginas?
Well, remember, when we got into this, my first statement was, I need visual evidence. Yeah. I need to see how this thing works. I can't just invest in a product without seeing how it works.
Right. Without some type of demonstration.
I can't go off your prototype. I need to see the actual
I need to
working.
see the action. I need to see how it goes.
I mean, I'm just being real here. I'm like, so we're having a story and a write-up, and you mean to tell me I gotta go pay to see the real thing?
Right.
No, sir. I'm not getting bamboozled. I can't get bamboozled because even if you pay one time, you pay one time to be a sucker. And you know my favorite quote from a very wise man by the name of Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
When you see a sucker,
speak it,
lick it. When you see a sucker, lick it. You're gonna have more people going to her fans only page to see this.
Fans only.
She only needs you to pay for one time.
Right.
You know, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a great marketing tool. Even if it ain't true, people are gonna be curious enough just to go check it out. But either way, and the fact that it's like, well, I don't know if it's headline news, but
it's headline.
It made the news in some way, form, or fashion. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we sitting there talking about it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it caught the eyes and the ears of a lot of people.
Well, see, and honestly, I mean, just to tell you the honest truth, this ain't nothing new to me. I mean, hell, two sexual organs ain't nothing new to me. I mean, I'm born with two sexual organs. I mean, I'm born with two penises. It's just put together.
You put together to make one.
It's two 8-inch penises, but they just together. They think it's 16. But I'm like, no, the first 8 inches, the first one. I mean, so when I heard this story, I was like, is this something new? I thought everything.
We got the teaser clip now of your reaction when you first heard me even spit out the title. I didn't even give you the full story. I just gave you a little bit. This is the first time actually getting into it. But I just read the title for you, which the teaser will be put up if you haven't already seen it. The teaser is up. to hear about the first episode reaction, and his reaction ain't nothing like what he's saying now. So yeah,
I mean, but I'm just saying, you know,
yeah.
Ladies fans only paid to be up in a couple of weeks.
He can't even say OnlyFans right. He
you know,
around. He switched around to fans only. Fans only.
It's my knockoff brand.
That's right. Okay, merch coming soon too. Fans only. Fans only. That's all we want is fans only on the podcast. Fans only.
Hashtag visual evidence.
Hashtag all I wanted was some steak.
Hashtag Pastor Loogie.
Pastor Loogie. Oh my! Like I don't want to keep on going back to it, but dude, oh man, look! If you had to smudge some spit on my face, man. You could say that for two vaginas.
Hey, people done got killed for lesser things.
For less.
People
like steak. People got killed for steak. People got killed for steak and go to corral.
Well, now men ain't got to fight over. Hey, dog, I just
all I wanted was a steak. All I wanted was a steak. Now this last topic, man, it's not scheduled, but I do want to hear your opinion on this. So it just came out. You know, Joe Rogan has been in the media about him giving misinformation about COVID and stuff and having folks on talking about it. And it's like, we don't really know what's true anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not going to penalize Joe Rogan for having misinformation on his podcast about COVID. I mean, the CDC don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But what got me was what came out later on. And I don't watch Joe Rogan's podcast like that. I've listened to a few episodes with people that I wanted to hear them speak about different stuff, like Elon Musk, Kevin Hart. Shout out to Andrew Schultz. Who else? Dave Chappelle and Donnell Rollins. You know, but I'm not subscribed to Joe Rogan's podcast just for Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I don't have Spotify. So the only way I listened to it was on YouTube, you know. But it came out with him saying nigger like multiple times. And it's like he said it was taken out of context. Okay, so in what context did you feel like it was okay for you to use that word? Because you old enough to know that there is no context in which that word should be used. And when you said that y'all was in some limo or something like that, or y'all driver said y'all wanted to go see the movie Planet of the Apes. And so he took y'all to this movie theater, which was in a black neighborhood. And you said, soon as we stepped out, it was like we stepped into Planet of the Apes. You weren't talking about the movie. You literally said that there was no white people there. So you were talking about black people. Okay, so how was that out of context? But you want to suspend Whoopi for 2 weeks for her comments about Jews when she is Jewish. Now, what she said may have been, you know, I'm not even going to say uneducated. You know, it could have been formulated better. She meant something different than what she said. But it still wasn't, to me, this is my opinion. Everybody is welcome to have their own. She didn't mean it with any ill intent. Just as well as Joe Rogan may not have meant it. But she didn't go at them in a sort of attack or racial type of context. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she is Jewish, do you give her a little bit of flexibility with that? But you suspend her, but then still allow Joe Rogan to have this type of platform. And it's just like, Yeah, N.D.I.R.E. came out and said that she's going to take her music off of Spotify. I think, what's the other?
White guy.
It was like Nick Young or something like that. Or
Neil Young. Right.
Neil Young.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. And it's just like, they're only going to take him off if you have somebody that takes away that money that they give him.
Mm-hmm.
If you have somebody like Beyonce or some whatever, one of these major artists that's on that platform take their music away, that has them lose that $100 million that they give him, that's only when they will do something.
Mm-hmm.
But I done went on and on about it. You know, what is your thoughts?
My thoughts is, here is when you witness the hypocrisy of cancel culture.
Come on.
Now I'm going to take y'all back for a second. Bear with me. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with this guy named Don Imus.
Mm-hmm.
Don Imus had one of these podcast shows that was very popular about 10 years ago. I'm thinking about 10 years ago. And he was on there and he was watching a ladies' college basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
And he called. It was some black girls on one of the team. It was like all black team.
Yeah.
And he called them nappy headed hoes.
Mm.
He said them nappy headed hoes can play. Now,
wow.
He had said stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
And when he said it, I didn't really think anything of it because I'm like, he's been saying this shit the whole time.
Right.
You ain't said anything else. Here's the hypocrisy. Now let's segue from Don Imus to Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr got taken off the Roseanne show for calling her, I could forget what her name was, but she was President Obama's Secretary of State.
Mm.
You know, said she looked like she was from Planet of the Apes.
Wow.
You know, she whole show got kept. She got kicked off the show. They gave the show to somebody else and did all this stuff. All that. Now, those two people did less than what Joe Rogan did.
Yeah.
However, the hypocrisy of the cancel culture is they pick and choose who did some egregious. So it ain't really the people's choice.
Yeah.
It's the media's choice of who we go after and who we don't. Because if you look at Dave Chappelle's skits, his specials, he would tell you, I've never had anything against I haven't had anything against the gays, anything against any particular. He said, my problem has always been with the whites.
Yeah.
You know, and I just feel a sense of hypocrisy here when somebody says something, the exact same thing, and they get unequal treatment.
Yeah,
I'm like, just if y'all would just level out the treatment, like Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg meant that from the heart. However, if it was a level playing field where, hey, you do this and you know you're doing it, you cancel, you could lose your job and everything.
Yeah.
I would be all for it.
Yeah.
But if we're just gonna pick and choose people, let's just let everybody say what the hell they want to say.
Now, is it the fact that none of those other people brought in as much revenue?
You goddamn right.
As
that's
Joe Rogan.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's an economic thing, and I just say, to put it personally, us as a people, meaning black people, have to start understanding. Nobody gives a damn about your feelings. They care. Everybody cares about money.
Right.
You know, they figuring, hey, it's better to keep him because he's bringing in all this revenue. We'll feel the hurt if we turn this off. Now, as I said, Don Imus, he wasn't bringing in that kind of revenue.
No.
Roseanne, she wasn't bringing in that kind of revenue. He brings in revenue, you know. And what people have to realize is, you know, money talks around here.
Yeah.
Just like with the Jewish people. Jewish people, everybody know They about that money.
Yeah.
And they will cancel you in a heartbeat, and ain't nobody gonna say a damn thing because they about that money. You know, when people start realizing, hey man, it's not that people care what you say, it's how much money you bring. You know, if you the right, Donald Trump has said the most egregious things his whole life. What the hell happened to him?
Became president.
He became president because you can sue him, you can talk bad about him, you can do all this. He don't give a damn because he's a billionaire. According to him, he's a billionaire. And people with money, with real money, don't give a damn about your feelings. So, Joe Rogan, I'm like, hey man, listen. Y'all thinking with feeling instead of thinking with financially. If you would get together and make them feel it financially, they would take him off there. But a few musicians talking about I'm taking my music off. When's the last time NRE dropped something?
Right. It's not gonna make enough impact. You know what I'm saying?
None whatsoever. And when it doesn't make an impact,
I mean because what's new today will be old tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Just let time go.
Right. And just like you said, it's more financial than it is feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the way of capitalism.
It is.
You know, so although these things have happened, where's the money?
Right.
Lying at
right.
Like, yeah, we may lose, you know what I'm saying, a few 100,000.
Right.
But still look at how much more we still bring in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still bring in what? 5, 6, 7. You know what I'm saying?
Prime example. Remember when Nike backed Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Everybody knew black people were going to go and buy Nike. Nike was like, well, hell, I might piss off a few people, but black people are going to buy Nike. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen another person with a Reebok or any. I just see black people with Nikes now.
Yeah, I like Nike.
You know, well, I'm just saying, Nike knew this about the money, man. Nike don't give a damn about black people, Colin Kaepernick, white people. They care about that money. And they deduce that, hey, you know what? If we back Kaepernick, every black person in America is suddenly a Nike purchaser.
I think we've always been with Nike.
That's not no. I'm not talking from our standpoint.
Yeah,
I'm talking from we have always been with Nike, which is why Nike knew.
Well, I'm saying within the company and the business too. You know what I'm saying? Like there's more diversity when it comes to the Nike Corporation than it possibly is with any other, major shoe industry like that.
What's another major shoe industry?
Well, Reebok.
Reebok is Adidas. Not U.S., right?
Adidas
is not U.S., right?
Yeah. Adidas is not U.S.
I don't think Reebok is. I don't think that Nike was right here in the United States. As a matter of fact, Nike and Converse are the ones we count on.
Yeah, and now they're actually one and the same.
So you're just going with homegrown U.S. That's why we not Reeboks see, Under Armour tried to make a run at it.
Yeah,
but
now is Under Armour here?
It's U.S.
Yeah.
So that they're the only ones that, but Reebok, that doesn't even sound like something you put on your foot. Adidas, maybe.
I got a few Adidas.
Right.
Yeah.
What is it? Saucony? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Growing up, I called it Saucony, but I think now it's pronounced Saucony. Yeah, but I'm a shooter.
Whatever it is, you ain't putting it on your damn foot. So my thing about it is Nike has always been a staple it's like Coca-Cola, the shoes. Mm-hmm. I know people who drink Pepsi, but not many.
Yeah.
So, you got some people who buy these other shoes, but they ain't black. Not a majority of them. You don't see a black people. I think black people only know Nike. If they know another shoe, somebody paying them to wear it.
Now, I got a pretty decent amount of Adidas, but I may be different.
What is that? What are those Adidas?
I'm a sneakerhead.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying. So I like.
But you're a runner too, right?
Yeah.
Nikes aren't really running shoes.
No, they do. They do have some great running shoes.
Okay.
Yeah. They do have some great running shoes.
Okay.
But my main shoes for running are a pair of Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I do have some Yeezys. I got my old school shell toes. You know, so I guess I can speak for an exception because I like all type of shoes. Yeah. I like all type of shoes.
But for the common black person, if you say what's your,
it's strictly like
it's
Nikes. Yeah,
it's like going to McDonald's. What do you want with that? A Coke? Not like you can order Pepsi anyway. But you know, it's just Nike knew. You know, we don't really diversify in the sneaker. I wish we would.
Yeah.
But Nike know that, hey man, as long as we don't piss them off, we're gonna be a Fortune 500 company. So they do whatever. So Nike didn't care about Kaepernick or anything like that. They protected their bottom line. And what people have to start realizing is, hey man, I'm an accountant. As long as it don't come in the negative, I'm good. So I'm gonna go with whatever makes my bottom line not go in the negative.
Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna say that Nike don't care. I'm not gonna say Nike don't care because like I'm a stock and shareholder within Nike, so I've done my research when it comes to the company, and anybody that I choose to not necessarily brand, but I choose to invest money behind, I make sure that I do my research. Right. We will also have, side note, we'll also have other episodes talking about, you know what I'm saying, finances and stuff like that. Steve is an accountant, and I dabble here and there into stocks, and stuff with Vanguard when it comes to index funds and hedge funds and all that other type of stuff. But we'll get into that on a later date or, you know, other episodes. But anyway, so when it comes to certain companies that I choose to invest my money in, I'm looking at the fact that how can I capitalize off of this, but also because I'm putting my money into it. And I guess I am kind of mixing feelings with finances, but at the same time, that's just a part of me and what I choose to do. You know what I'm saying? Some people may be okay with standing behind this company that does this or does that, blah, blah, whatever, you know, but that's just me personally. I don't choose to, my dollar made off of, you know, these people doing this or doing that, you know what I'm saying, the wrong way or whatever it may be, it just doesn't sit right for me. And I could be wrong with Nike. You know what I'm saying? I could not have done all my research, which y'all can let me know in the comments or, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But that's just my personal standpoint. But, it's a capitalistic world. And in any way, shape, or form that people can make $1 off of whatever somebody says or does, they're going to choose to stick with them just as long as that revenue continues to come into play.
As long as there's a profit made, and the thing, and that's basically my point. As long as there's a profit being made out of it, they don't give a damn about your feelings. So the thing about Joe Rogan, I didn't even know who the man was until all this came about. But
you knew Joe Rogan from Fear Factor.
Actually, you know who I thought he was? I thought the guy was the dude that does the Let's Get It On. What is it?
The UFC.
Yeah, I thought that's what's the dude.
The what's his name?
Dana White.
Dana White.
I thought that's what the dude.
They do look almost alike. They do look, but the thing about Joe Rogan is he was I think like a commentator or like a judge or something when it came to the UFC, and so yeah, he was involved. In the UFC too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see the comparison because they do look alike.
And in the context of somebody saying some outlandish stuff, I'm like, I associated that with UFC, and I was like, okay, well, this dude this is what he do.
Yeah.
But my thing about it was like, you know, you got people now say, you know, getting all intelligent. Well, you know, the context of what he said it in and all that. I was like, well, it's mighty funny y'all can say that with him. But with Whoopi Goldberg, you knew her context, and you just automatically label her, oh, you're just wrong. So That's what I'm saying. That whole hypocrisy of the cancel culture.
Don't be willing to throw the book at one person for something that is less egregious than the other person. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna throw the book at one person, throw it at everybody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Hold everybody accountable for whatever they say or do, not just one person based off of their popularity or the money they choose to make. But that ain't the world we live in.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
And the best I can attribute cancel culture is to the U.S. justice system, because they definitely do not distribute punishment equally.
Yeah. The same punishment is not distributed equally. Yeah, I agree.
So that's my thing. I'm like, this whole cancel culture thing, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. So that's just my 2 cents. And like I said, if you watched our introductory episode, of course, Anthony said, "Hey, he tries to say something to sound logical. I hope somebody took a little logic out of this and got what I'm saying. If not, I'm just talking."
And that's just all it is. Like, we're not experts on anything. You know what I'm saying? We're just giving our opinion. I mean, we can be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we can do what we want. You know what I'm saying? It's if you feel like you want to cancel us for something, you're more than welcome to try. But at the same time, hey, it is what it is.
Everybody knows what people say. It's just an opinion.
Yeah.
And everybody has one, just like everybody has a. I think that would be a good segue.
And we would never do anything to, directly try to offend anybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if we feel strongly about something, and definitely it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So I guess with that, it's a good way to end the show
and sign off.
There it is. So we thank you for listening. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. And this has been another episode of GAR in the Glass. See y'all later.